y'all? It's your boy Chris Jack, Canvas Nomad, back with another one. And today, the days, and I think it's important to start off with the fact that today's election day, and the election is just something that, as I grow up, you just see through the. First of all, this election has been one of the craziest elections ever. I think, first of all, how is it possible that we had enough time? We had enough time to go through primaries. Joe Biden hasn't been. I think he did the last State of the Union, but I don't even know if that was green screen or whatever. You can clearly see, like in some of his I don't know if you call it an interview, but some of his speeches, this green screen because a mic moves over his hand, right? And this ain't conspiracy. Like you can check it out yourself. Just Google it on YouTube. So I don't know. We haven't seen Joe Biden in years. So we had enough time to know that Joe Biden wasn't going to be suitable for the next election. And what's funny is people knew this before he was even elected. But of course he got in there anyway, right? Then what I think is unfair is how they just shoved Kamala in our face. Now, I'm not sitting there saying I voted. And I have no problem telling you I didn't vote Democrat, I didn't vote Republican. I never did. Since the first time I've ever voted, I've always voted independent. I thought it was interesting they didn't have no independent parties this year. They had the family one, and then they had the conservative, and both of those was Donald Trump and Kamala. They usually have independent names, but this year they didn't have it, I thought was interesting. So this year I filled in the ballot, but I voted. I'm in a blue state. It don't matter. We've never voted anything else, so my vote technically doesn't count, right? But for the people that want to be like, oh, you ain't vote, you letting the other people win, blah, blah, blah. Well, now I can say I voted. And then if you're saying that my vote counts, but I'm wasting my vote for voting for something that doesn't matter, then obviously my vote doesn't count. See my point? But anyway, we got thrown Kamala without any kind of delegation, without any kind of debates or anything. And why was it that Donald Trump and Kamala only had one debate? If I'm not mistaken, I think they only had one debate. Usually it's 3. So I'm not really sure what happened with this election, but people just forget shit. People forget things. I don't get it. I used to look forward to Obama going to debate, and I didn't even vote for him. I think I voted for Ron Paul this first time. I think I voted for him the second time too, 2012. But anyway, it's crazy because I used to look forward to those debates. I wanted to see I used to really enjoy those things. And this time they debated once. It's kind of like a 3-on-1, but whatever. I say these things and people think I'm on one side, and it's like, no, I'm just pointing out what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just pointing out what I'm seeing. It is what it is. It's not like I favor one person or anything. I'm favoring what I see. So I look at these things and I'm just like, nah. I'm just over it. And this is why I want to get out of here. Like, it's just a circus at this point. It's always been a popularity contest, but at this point it's really getting blatant now. It's sad, to be honest with you. And this is why I want to segue into what I'm saying about your purpose. Because when you have people voting for a person to be the leader of the free world solely off the principle that she will allow women to do what they want with their body, I think we have it so backwards. That is not the reason you vote someone in. That is part of a reason. That is not the reason. And then, to me, they both have it backwards. At the end of the day, it shouldn't be either or. There should be a cap where it's like, okay, 3 strikes, you're out. You can't get in. And then if it's medical, obviously everybody knows the more abortions you get, the higher the chances are you're damaging your body. So I don't even know why we even entertain this. However, for the sake of the argument, there should be a cap. You can get one no matter what. The second one has to be within a stipulation of, because you got to keep people accountable. I'm sorry. It should be within the stipulation of this. If it's going to hurt your health in some way, or it rhymes with the fruit grape. Any one of those two, person should be able to get abortion. Anything, if it's just like, oh, I woke up today and I don't feel like having it, that ain't a good enough reason. You bugging. Because now taxpayer dollars got to go into that to pay for that. So what are we arguing about? You understand what I'm saying? And that's like the lead cause of her campaign. It's not the only thing, but it's like the main talking points that you hear when people say it. And then you ask them a question, well, what are the other policies? No one ever knows. No one ever knows. And then the other guy, he ain't gonna do anything for people that don't got an LLC. If you don't got an LLC, he's not on your side. You understand? So, why am I voting for him? You know what I mean? Given he's gonna run the country like a business, and in some elements we need that. I mean, our social security number is pretty much, an employee number, right? So maybe it should be run like a business. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I know he ain't gonna do nothing for me. So if these are my two choices, and to me they're just cut from the same cloth, I wouldn't be surprised if Kamala won. I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump won. I don't think it's going to be a landslide on either side. I think it's going to be very close. And someone will edge out. That's it. Because Kamala's clearly going for the women, where hopefully the edge will be minority men. And Donald Trump has the rest of the United States. So, just do the math. 13% Latinos, which some of those are on DT's side. You have 12% blacks. You do that math, it's about 25%. Then all women. You know what I mean? So it's who knows what the math is. And this is why it is important to know your purpose, because all of these distractions won't matter. I knew somebody back in the day. His name was Jacob. He told me specifically, he was like, remember why you're doing something. I was so young, I really didn't grasp the concept of what that meant. And I really didn't know why. I just knew I just saw everybody else doing it, so I was doing it. I wasn't necessarily following because there wasn't many of us doing it, but of the people that I was cool with, there were a few doing it, so I was like, all right, cool, I got some people with me doing it. And years later, I didn't complete it, right? And I'm grateful for not completing it for my own reasons, but at the same time, in that moment, I didn't know why I didn't want to complete it, which is the same reason that I didn't complete it, because I didn't have a why. You got to know your why. There's a great book by Simon Sinek. It's called Know Your Why. I'll put it in the description below. You got to know why you're doing something. Because if you don't know why you're doing it, in times of struggle, in times of distraction, in times of lust, in times of intoxication, you're never going to stay focused if you don't know why you're doing something. Pardon me, I forgot my mic again today, so you're about to hear some loud stuff. If you don't know why you're doing something, I'm telling you right now, it'll be so easy to just throw you off your rocket. It'd be so easy to just throw you off. But if you know why you're doing something, you will make sure that every action that you do is geared towards going the way that you want to go. If you watched my video yesterday, it's going to be geared towards going right, if that makes sense. But if you don't know why you want to do something, I'm telling you, you're just going to be a paper bag in the wind. I know this because that's what I've been for like pretty much the last 10, 13 years. I've been that. So it's something just to note, like, once you figure it out, and it's not easy, and I'd argue that you may think you want to do something, and then sooner or later you get into it, and you realize it's not for you, you jump to the next, jump to the next, you jump to the next. I don't want you to think of each of those journeys as separate individual journeys. They're not. They are actually connecting pieces, leading you to a larger story. This is why everybody is unique. Nobody's story is the same. You understand? Everybody's experience is just filling in a little bit of the gap. There's something called the Theseus theory, right? Where imagine you're on a ship, and as you're traveling, every time a piece of wood gets rotten, you replace that wood with metal. Now you keep doing it, you keep replacing it over the months. Now you take out that last piece of wood and replace that last piece of wood with metal. Question is it the same ship? What I'm trying to say is, every experience is going to change you in some way. You're still you, but you're not the same person. So that's what makes your experience completely different than everybody else. That's what makes you unique. However, if you don't know why you're doing it, you're just going through experiences for no reason. Maybe instead of replacing the wood with metal, you then replace it with aluminum foil. That's clearly not going to work, but that's what that experience taught you. Because you don't know where you're going. You don't know why you're doing it. But because you know the process of a ship is to stay afloat and go to places, you know what pieces you can replace the wood with because you have a why. And that's why you need to know what your why is. And it's, like I said, it's not easy. I think I just recently found my why 3 years ago. Late. I feel like the earlier you figure it out, the better. I know one dude, he knew his why when we was in middle school. My man was working with kids back then. And he ended up working in the school. Now he's a psychologist, working with big ass kids. You know what I mean? Adults. So he knew. If you know, the younger you know, the quicker you can advance in life. No cap. But if you don't know, you're really going to be a paper bag in the wind. You're just going to take whatever job pays. And then eventually you're going to be in survival mode. And you could either be one of two ways. You're either going to be in a job that you stay with for a long time because you're too scared to leave. Or you're going to be jumping from job to job, showing your ability to adapt. But at the same time, you're not building any kind of stability. That's just really how it goes. You know, and again, I'm telling you this from my experience. Everybody's experience, as I just said, is different. But you can see general trends across time. And generally, you jump ship from ship to ship, industry to industry, and it's not a promotion. You're either staying at the same pay or you're going down. I'm telling you, I've been a waiter, I've been freelance photography, I've been a server. Yeah, well, I said waiter. A scale operator, I've been a store manager, I've been an IT professional, I've been in real estate, sold a house, sold a few houses, you know, and now I'm pretty sure you see the logo on my chest. I've done so many things, and my income's going like this. It ain't easy. But if you know for something for sure, that that's not what you want to do, or that's not what resonates with you, yeah, maybe you should find stability and stay with something, because then after a while, you need to quote unquote grow up. But yo, if it's just not for you, and you know it, you ain't got responsibilities in the sense where you ain't got kids, a mortgage, a car note, all that stuff, figure it out. Hey, you can still take the chance. Because I'm telling you right now, you don't want to be on your deathbed where you're telling yourself, I wish I would have. Regret is a mother. I'm telling you right now, regret is a mother. So definitely know why you want to do something. Definitely understand that it's something that isn't easy to find, but it's necessary to find. You have to know why you want to do something. Because if you don't, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna have a hard time in life. And life is already hard, so you don't want to make it any harder. But once you find out why, I'm telling you, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. I don't really care to go out anymore, to the club, to the. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm doing this. This is all that matters right now. Not YouTube figuratively, but the direction I'm walking. That's the only thing that matters, and I'm not doing anything else. If it don't make sense, I'm not doing that. I don't care. Now, of course, we all have our habits that we don't bring away from as easy. We all have our things, but you can slowly see yourself realizing that you really don't care to do that stuff once you figure out what your why is. So figure it out as soon as possible. I'm telling you, that'll help a lot. It's your boy Chris Jack. Like, comment, subscribe. Canvas Nomad here. And if you made it this far in the video, you're my friend. I appreciate it.